right, so the first thing we're going to do is, this is the potassium sodium tartrate complex. So we're going to put 60 milliliters of it into
I love
this giant beaker. Okay, it's nice and clear. The sodium, or the potassium sodium tartrate, just looks like kind of like a sugar crystal. This is what it looked like before I dissolved it. Okay, so that's the potassium sodium tartrate. Okay, that's one giant polyatomic ion that I'm not forcing you to memorize, so you can be happy about that. We have to get this up to 50 degrees Celsius. So if somebody wants to be the temperature person.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna try to keep it from like sitting on the bottom. So there's not much liquid right now, but it's getting hot in there. This is just a little magnetic stir bar, which is kind of magical, right?
Oh, it's zooming. It's zooming now.
My hands are so shaky.
So then we're gonna add, this is my copper 2 sulfate. I only have to add 1 milliliter of it, which is almost nothing. Okay.
Yeah. That's cool.
Let's get up to 500 degrees
No, 50. 50. You're like, 500? Will that burn me? Yeah, it would. So just up to 50.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Oh, so while you're doing that, I forgot to mix up your peroxide. So we'll talk about the peroxide a little bit while James is getting that nice and hot.
They're gonna go insane.
I'm sorry.
So Ridley's was at a 3% hydrogen peroxide. I really only want 3%. But I have to dilute down my 30% peroxide because Ridley's was all out.
Oh, do I record this?
You can record that if you want.
Okay.
Shake us.
I
Just
know.
mix it really well. So we're gonna make some peroxide here that's diluted down.
Up to 50.
Okay, so we're gonna just turn our heat off. We're going to add our copper in there to make it a beautiful blue copper too. And we gotta get the peroxide going. You can keep track of the temperature if you want as I add the peroxide in a sec.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
this peroxide is 30%, so it's pretty like dangerous compared
Look
to
at
what
that.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, zoom out.
That's as far as it zooms out.
Oh,
She's
It's alright, it's gonna
frying.
get hotter as we add the peroxide.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's green.
Green.
Oh, I probably
I
should have
know.
washed it a little bit better.
It's 66 now.
Like, why is it so spinny?
So now we're gonna add this.
Because.
Steamy.
So we can add the peroxide about 5 or 6 times. And that is the copper 1 color right there. So copper 1 is that kind of like
Could you not?
orange tang type of color.
Oh my gosh.
So tell them how hot it got, James. How hot did it get there?
Oh my
What
gosh.
is it now?
Holy smokes.
67.
No, it's not gonna go up too much.
Orange.
So we're gonna, we can turn our heat off.
If that's what color your face is, then go to the doctor.
But each time that it goes to orange, we can force it back to the blue with another 40 milliliters of the peroxide. And we can do this about 5 or 6 times.
This is on
We try
video,
to get
Triton.
7 out of third period.
Oh my gosh.
I think let me record.
Yeah, it's just orange.
That was not a good idea.
That's so exciting.
So it's gonna go to blue.
Recording.
And now it's gonna go back to orange. So we have to wait for it to go back to orange before we can add more of the peroxide.
Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
We're that straight and you're going. What happened to
Yeah, so we have to wait for it to go orange.
Right.
Oh!
So we're back to orange. So what's this? The third time? Or no, it's the fourth?
That's so
I
exciting.
think it's the third
So
time.
excited.
It's the second time
But-
it's asked me.
It will get slower each time at changing colors.
The last one was faster.
Yeah, this last one.
It's a big bubble.
Yay! Oh, it's so fast now.
So there's a magnetic, there's a magnet.
You can see the cup measurements. Do you see that? It's spinning.
To the old Mike Tyson.
For everyone who wants to see it
Yeah,
spinning.
there's a little magnetic spur bar in there, so it just gets it.
You're gonna do what?
Do I keep recording still?
Not like,
Oh, she
has. It's like,
Huh?
If you want to, let's record through the next
Yes.
time it goes
Okay.
back to blue. And
I
then
like how we're talking about this stuff.
our virtual people at home.
I wonder if they're thinking here.
In chemistry class.
So there we go, back to orange. I think this is the fourth time. Back to blue. We should be able to get 5 to 6 times out of it, and then eventually, when we run out of the
Yeah. How you zoom in?
potassium sodium
Quit
tartrate
zooming in.
ion, then we're
Can I
just
video,
fine.
please?
Then it stops changing colors. We do
a
it
good
in this
videotape.
bigger
Yes, I
figure just
am.
because you saw
They
how
need
much
to see
it
this.
bubbled and fizzed up.
They need to see your shaking hands zooming in.
No, they're not that shaky anymore.
Still.
And you notice each time it takes a little bit longer and a little bit longer to go to the orange.
I wish Jimmy got the video. People are still with them big old thumbs.
Alright, so boys, quick. So this peroxide that I had to use because Ridley's was out of the 3%. This one is 30%. All of our hydrogen peroxide actually will decompose into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. This one's in kind of a cool accordion bottle because as it gives off its gas, it will actually like expand up.
Yeah, you missed
And then I can accordion it down so that it has less air in there.
I'm
so that it's
recording
not
her
gonna
hydrogen.
give off as much gases.
Look at the
Um,
color.
Oh, we're back to orange.
See, we all missed it.
Yeah.
Not me.
So this peroxide being 30% it can cause tissue damage. We have to be careful of this one,
Oh, dang.
okay?
Nice.
If you get it
Tissue
into, like, say you've used peroxide, you use peroxide on a cut ever and it gets all bubbly and
Yep.
foamy, right?
Nasty.
Well, if you put the 30% in there, 10 times more concentrated, it can actually like give you a chemical burn.
Oh, man, we should
So,
try it.
Shut up, Mark.
so good.
That one.
It's used for that. We'll use this one for when we make elephant toothpaste. But I did just have to dilute it down so that I only had a 3% solution instead of a 10%. Hydrogen peroxide is always in a brown bottle because just by exposing it to light, it will decompose on its own, and so that's why you always find your peroxide in these dark brown bottles, because just ultraviolet light makes it change. So now we're back to, I think that was 5 times. We'll try for a 6. Usually it is done and you can't get more than 6.
We'll get 8.
Get 10.
It's spinning and spinning and spinning.
So sometimes, like, I don't know if we'll even be patient enough to wait for this one to go back to orange or not. We do have enough peroxide. We can try
Am I
one more
good?
time.
Only way you can see what I'm.
Yeah, you
I don't know when to stop.